In this video, I'm going to share with you 3 techniques of how to keep your feet warm in the cold when you're adventuring around, whether you're camping in the summer, winter, fall, or spring. Tip number 1, make sure not to camp near bodies of water or flowing water. Why is this? Well, water actually saturates the air with moisture, which in turn gets you wet, which in turn gets your feet wet. Also, water has a stabilizing effect on the air temperature, where it keeps the air stable. Like at the ocean, it only varies 10 or 15 degrees, versus inland where I live, the temperature swing can be 20 or 30 degrees. And you think, oh, that's great. The challenge is that water is a heat sink and it absorbs a lot of energy. So camping next to a lake or a body of water can be very cool. Also, camping near flowing water with that convection of the air stirring around next to the water, woo boy, some of the coldest nights I've ever camped in are because I camped near a creek. That brings me to tip number 2. Avoid camping in swampy, marshy areas. The same sort of effect. The water can be standing and can be sleeping there, but because that moisture tends to rise up out of the swampy area or the moist area and begin soaking everything, including you, your tent, your sleeping bag, and your feet are going to get cold because you are going to get cold. One of the goals of camping is to try and remain as dry as possible. So of course I know my friends in the Pacific Northwest will be like, that's not possible, Aaron. You can't camp and not get wet. Well, trust me, you can do a lot of things to help yourself out. Even if you're camping in a complete rainforest, like the whole rainforest, which I've camped in, I made sure, even though it was rainy and moist, I did not sleep next to the creek. I did not sleep next to the pond. I stayed pretty far away, and that made a big difference in the temperature of my experience keeping my feet warm. The third and final tip, one you might not think about, is look out for terrain features that create wind tunnels. What's a wind tunnel, you might ask? Well, so if you're camping and you're set up and you see this breezeway perhaps between a big rock and a stand of trees or another rock, and you camp right in between it thinking, ooh yeah, this is going to be protected, you might have actually created a condition where you're camping in a super breezy area where wind funnels between 2 structures, a rock or a stand of trees, and then it blows back out. Don't camp there if you can avoid it at all. I've made that mistake personally, where I thought, ooh, this is a good protected spot from the breeze that was coming over. And at night, the wind shifted from being blocked. It shifted 90 degrees and just blew right through there, and I was freezing my keister off. Of course, I didn't have my Kiki Gallery hat. That was a big mistake too. At least a hat could have kept me a little bit more warm. But you want to really think about, okay, if a breeze comes, is it going to get funneled down by terrain and then start blowing cold air over me, which causes convection, which draws heat away from my body, which makes my feet cold. So those are 3 techniques for you to keep your feet warm. Avoid camping near still or flowing water. Avoid camping near marshy and wet areas. And above all, please do not camp in a wind tunnel. I have over 100 tips of how to keep your feet warm in the cold, outdoor adventuring, and those 3 tips are some of the over 100 tips featured in my book. My name is Aaron Linsdale. I'm a polar explorer and professional adventurer and author. Please check out links in the description to books. And please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel so you can get more info like this.